But this is something, this elaborate description of thoughts arising from the subtle body and thoughts coming from the cosmic field, I think this is explicitly stated for the first time only here in Savitri. Yes. And not even in other writings of Sri Aurobindo. Nowhere in Life Divine Synthesis, nowhere. Only in this particular canto, you see that thing very specifically mentioned. Thoughts arise from different parts of the subtle body or come from the cosmic field. Well, I mean, after he has said that thing here, we can understand why it should be. Why it should be? Because thought does not depend upon us. Thought is a part, is an aspect of the mental being. The typal species, it is his thought, not our thoughts. It is the mental being who has that thing already with him. So whether I exist or not, the mental being up there, wherever it is, he will have all those things. Yeah, he will have, because he is mental being. So when he is in the cosmic operation, they will come from the cosmic field. When he is the individual, they will arise from the subtle body. So this is for the first time so beautifully, so elaborately, so explicitly stated anywhere in the psychological literature. See. Not even in the Life Divine. Life Divine don't have these things. Synthesis, no. A record also, it doesn't say that. Record of yoga. No, no. High she attained and stood from nature free, and saw creation's life from far above. So she is now, because that thought has ceased, she is standing up there somewhere, and it is from there she is seeing the entire creation down below, life from above. Not from within, not with her instruments here, you see. High she attained and stood from nature free. So whatever she is observing is not governed, is not constrained by nature. And saw creation's life from far above. So the meaning of what is that creation's life, she can see now directly, without getting affected by our notions of things. Then upon all she laid her sovereign will. So that is a beautiful thing. When she is standing above, then she can lay her will upon everybody. She is now free of nature, she is free of everything. So she can impose her will and get things done the way she would like to. By remaining involved there, she cannot exercise that will, you see. Then all grew to dedicate it to God's timeless calm. Then all grew tranquil in her being's space. Only sometimes small thoughts arose and fell like quiet waves upon a silent sea. So the sea is there, the wave come and go gently. In that manner, some thought will come and go. Only sometimes small thoughts arose and fell like quiet waves upon a silent sea, or ripples passing over a lonely pool, when a stray stone disturbs its dreaming rest. There is a pond of water, drop a stone, and then there is a ripple. So Sri Aurobindo must have observed all these things physically when he, when he was moving around here in this world. He must have observed in Baroda or perhaps in England, or you see. And when there is a lonely pool, you drop a stone, ripples are there. We used to play a little game, throw a flat stone like that and see how many ripples it will make. Up, down, 7, 8 like that I used to make, see. When a stray stone disturbs its dreaming rain, yet the mind's battery has ceased to work. Although a small thought arose, it was not coming from mind's battery. There was no sound of the dynamo's throb. There came no call from the still fields of life. Because everything had stopped, you see. Now, this is a little paradoxical thing. Came no call from the silent fields. How can the call come from silent fields? Came no call from silent fields. Call means everything was quiet, and she was as if expecting something to happen. It didn't. Therefore, no call came from silent fields. Huh? Still fields, still calm, quiet. Quiet. Still fields of life. It is an adjective, not an adverb here. There came no call from the still fields of life, calm, quiet fields of life. Then even those stirrings rose in her no more. Her mind now seemed like a vast empty room, or like a peaceful landscape without sound. Her mind, a peaceful landscape without sound. Now, of course, all this is pertaining to the yoga of Savitri. Surely, this is a realized experience of Sri Aurobindo himself. It is not that he is imagining and writing out. He is kind of putting down his own experience here. Now, from a biographical point of view, if it is in the case of Sri Aurobindo, when did this happen in his life? When did this happen in his life? See, this particular book was written in 1947. Surely, all these things didn't happen in him in 1947. Possibly, it had happened around 1st January 1908. When he first sat with Lily for 3 days in Baroda, and when he had the realization of the silent mind. Silent mind. He was told by Lily that keep your mind silent and you see thoughts coming from outside. Thoughts coming from outside. So this must have happened about that time, you see. And he said, Sri Aurobindo said that since then, this silent mind had never left him. Had never left him, you see, since then.
2010, no? That was
Pardon?
2008, 2008.
Yeah, in Baroda, around 1st January 1908. Then even those stirrings rose in her. So, although he says in her, it must have been in him, you see. But when did this happen in her? In the case of the mother.
That we don't know.
Pardon?
We don't know.
We don't know.
Only when she sat in front of Sri Aurobindo.
Then, yeah, on 29th March 1914,
But did it leave her again?
this happened to her. She got silent mind from Sri Aurobindo when she met him for the first time on 29th March 1914. So the first gift the mother had received from Sri Aurobindo was a silent mind on 29th March 1914. First present, first gift she received from him. And of course, the last gift she had received from Sri Aurobindo on 5th December 1950 was the mind of light. So, from silent mind to mind of light is the spiritual journey of the Mother's Yoga. See. Then, even those stirrings rose in her no more. Her mind now seemed like a vast empty room, or like a peaceful landscape without sound. This men call quietude and prize is peace. All that she got, we call it peace, quietude, but it's something more than that, you see. There's the irony here. This men call. Sri Aurobindo mentions about one of his disciples when he was receiving the silent mind, the disciple here, he felt extremely uneasy. What is happening to me? My mind is stopped, you see. And in a way, he rejected that gift, you see, that yogic gift which he had received, you see. Therefore, this men call quietude and prizes peace, you see. But to her deeper sight, all yet was there. All, it is not just peace, it is not just quietude, but all was yet there, effervescing like a chaos under a lid. Feelings and thoughts cried out for word and act, but found no response in the silent brain. All was suppressed, but nothing get expunged. So everything was there still in her. It has not gone away. So that is the nirvana she has to get. Everything has fallen, suppressed, you see. It's not going to help you. It has to disappear totally, annul. See. All are suppressed, but nothing yet expand. At every moment might explosion come. It may burst out any time, any moment, you see, because it was simply suppressed there, you see. Therefore, this men call quietude and prize is peace. But even then this too paused. The body seemed a stone. All now was a wide, mighty vacancy, but still excluded from eternity's hush. Mighty vacancy, but not eternity's hush. Everything is silent, but it has to be the part of eternity's silence, eternity's hush. For still was far the repose of the Absolute, and the ocean silence of infinity, and the ocean silence of infinity. It is almost mantric line, and the ocean silence of infinity. Very powerful line. Even now, some thoughts could cross her solitude. They surge not from the depths or from within, cast up from fathomlessness to seek a form. Spoke not the body's need, nor voiced mind's call. So this is the nature of some thoughts which are arising. They did not speak about body, what body wants or what mind wants. These seem not born nor made in human time. So they are coming from elsewhere. Children of cosmic nature from a far world. Ideas ships in complete armor of world, posted like travelers in alien space. Out of some far expanse, they seem to come. So this is a description of the thoughts coming from the cosmic field. Although you think it's silent, quiet, out of some far expanse, they seem to come, as if carried on vast wings like large white sails, and with easy access reached the inner ear, as though they used a natural privileged right to the high royal entries of the soul. So, actually, the entry to the soul is through the inner ear. This is what we have seen earlier also. The subliminal. To that, in fact, it is both ways. The subliminal, it gets something from the soul and projects outside. It projects something from outside within the soul, as though they use a natural privileged right to the high royal entries of the soul. As yet, their path lay deep, concealed in light. Then, looking to know when the intruders came, so naturally they are intruders. They have no business to come there. She saw a spiritual immensity pervading and encompassing the world's space as ether or transparent, tangible air, and through it sailing tranquilly a thought. So through that tranquil air of ether, a thought is sailing, coming. Now this is a whole description of the thought sailing from the sea of infinity. She saw spiritual immensity pervading and encompassing the world space as ether or time. As smoothly glides a ship nearing its port. Now this whole description, well, in fact, even downward below also, the whole description is the naval description of a ship arriving at the port. It is a typical Victorian image, naval image of the time of Queen Victoria, how the ship would come to the port and go. The whole image is a Victorian image. And through its sailing tranquilly a thought, as smoothly glides a ship nearing its port, ignorant of embargo and blockade. The thought is coming, the ship is coming, but ship does not know that it has no passport, it has no valid license to reach the port. The thought is coming, but thought will be stopped, that the thought does not know yet. As smoothly glides a ship nearing its port, ignorant of embargo and blockade, confident of entrance and a visa seal. Yes, I will be able to manage it. Visa seal. It came to the silent city of the brain, towards its accustomed and expectant cave. Yes, this is how I have been going, so let me also go today. But today, no. It is barred. But met a barring will, a blow of force, and sank, vanishing in the immensity. The thought is coming like a ship, but it has no permit to reach the port, so it sank there. As smoothly glides a ship nearing its port. So this long, elaborate simile, what we have got here, how the ship is a very elaborate simile, you see. It is called a Homeric simile. Homer's Iliad and Odyssey have long drawn similes running into several lines. So they are called Homeric simile. So this is an example of a Homeric simile, you see. As smoothly glides a ship nearing its port, ignorant of embargo and blockade, confident of entrance and the visa seal, it came to the silent city of the brave, towards its accustomed and expectant cave, but met a barring will, a blow of force, and sank, vanishing in the immensity. After a long vacant pause, another appeared, and others, one by one, suddenly emerged, minds unexpected visitors from the unseen, like far-off sail upon a lonely sea. The sailboats, they are coming from a lonely sea from above. So one after the other, these thoughts are coming. But soon that commerce failed, none reached mind's coast. So that's the whole elaborate simile. Now this simile is running into over a dozen, more than dozen lines, you see. Homeric similes are long, but never so long. At the most 3 or 4 lines. I don't know if you heard of Sohrab and Rustum's story by Matthew Arnold. It's a long poem. It is written in a Homeric style. Sohrab and Rustum. How Rustum killed his own son, Sohrab, in the battle, you see. That poem has long similes like that. Matthew Arnold, you see. So I think for the first time in English literature, the Homeric similes appear there in Sohrab and Rustum, Matthew Arnold. Not even so much in Paradise Lost. After a long vacant pause, another appeared, and others, one by one, suddenly emerged, minds unexpected visitors from the unseen, like far-off sails upon a lonely sea. But soon that commerce failed, none reached his mind's goal. Then all grew still, nothing moved anymore, immobile, self-wrapped, timeless, solitary. A silent spirit pervaded silent space. Nothing. Immobile, self-wrapped, timeless, solitary. See how many adjectives is piling. Timeless, solitary, immobile. So this is the first stage towards Savitri Nirvana. First step towards Savitri Nirvana. That all the thoughts must cease. The mind should become silent, totally silent. And thoughts, they should cease. He goes back and says, thoughts arise either from the subtle body or come from the cosmic field. All that must go away. So neither the subtle body nor the cosmic dimensions should exist if Savitri has to go into Nirvana. In that absolute stillness, bare and formidable. Now you can imagine there is nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. So it can be very frightening also. There was glimpse an all-negating void supreme that claimed its mystic nihil's sovereign right to cancel nature and deny the soul. That mystic nihil's sovereign right to cancel nature. Obviously, it is that condition now where nature, where soul, self, nothing should exist. Nothing should exist, you see. That is Nirvana. In that absolute stillness, bare and formidable, there was glimpse. See, that is why it is an all-negating void. Void supreme, the absolute, the last void. Supreme void, because there is nothing existing there, so it's pure void now, pure void. Shunya, cipher, is what we say. That void is a condition for complete purification. Purification not only the individual nature, but the soul has gone, the spirit has gone, everything is gone, self has gone, completely gone. That is the condition of purification here. Void, Shunya. This is what is called the Shunya Mudra. So you want to get purified totally, you do Shunya Mudra. This finger put on the mount of your thumb and other finger straight. Like this. And sit like that for 45 minutes in 3 sessions. For 45 minutes in 3 sessions.
And then the mind is silent.
Then you get, this is called Shunya Mudra, you get purified. Every kind of purification.
Purified with this.
The other 2 fingers should be closed like that. Straight pointing out.
Like this or this or
Now, this middle finger
yeah.
on the mount of the thumb.
But the ring finger.
No, mount of the thumb, middle finger on the mount of the thumb. No, not middle finger. Yeah, mount of the thumb, and then it is pressing like that, and the other fingers straight.
No, but that one doesn't go straight.
This
Yeah.
is another one.
Yeah.
This
practice
one,
it.
can you make that straight?
Ah,
This
this
is
together.
three.
And this
Yeah, there you got it. Yeah. So you'll get purified.
unified. And like this up.
Shanya Mudra.
Should be over here.
You sit down like that, yeah, straight like that, of course. Yeah. Straight like that, erect, and then sit like that for 45 minutes in 3 sessions.
How long?
45 minutes in 3 sessions.
3 sessions per day.
Yeah, if you can do for at one single go, it's okay. But otherwise, you can do 15 minutes each. So that is called Shunya Mudra, void, straight, of course. Yeah.
After 45, I have to have the emptiness of
You will get purification. Shunya, everything everything will disappear. Shunya means void.
and after
Then the what? Then the void will do whatever is required.
1.5 hours. So then we have to stay
Yes.
and wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
First, you have to remove everything. Purification. No, this middle finger on the mount of the thumb, on the mount of the thumb, and then press it.
It's like it works like this and like this.
Yeah, you got it. But you press it directly on the thumb, on the mount. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
You have to make some exercise.
But you have to stay direct, straight like that. Yeah. In that absolute stillness, bare and formidable, there was glimpse and all negating void supreme that claimed its mystic Nihil's sovereign right. So Nihil, Shunya, zero, nothing, zilch, that claimed its to cancel nature. You see, this is a big thing. Cancel nature and deny soul. No self. That is what the Buddha says. Nothing exists there. Even the nude sense of self grew pale and thin, impersonal, signless, featureless, void of form. A blank, pure consciousness has replaced the mind. So there is no more mind now. So what remains is only pure consciousness, blank, pure consciousness. And see how many adjectives: impersonal, signless, featureless, void of form, blank. Before that you have pale and thin. The new sense of self grew. Her spirit seemed the substance of a name. The world, a picture symbol drawn on self, a dream of images, a dream of sound, built up the semblance of a universe, or lent to spirit the appearance of a world. So actually the whole thing appears to be a world, only an appearance now, semblance. A dream of images. You are simply imaging this whole world, all that you are saying is only a dream of images, dream of sounds, you see. This was self-seeing, nihil, nil, nothing. There is a Latin saying, you be nihil vales, where you are worth nothing. Nihil, where you are worth nothing. You be nihil vale, your value is zero. Nothing. Even a nude sense of self grew pale and thin. Mind is an instrument which leads to this experience. What? That there is substance, her spirit same the substance of a name. It is not really substance. Her spirit same the substance. Substance means substance, which stands below, the support, the matter. Substance, same the substance of a name. The world a pictured symbol. So the whole thing is only an image, a dream, a semblance. See, he is describing all the he seemed, then a symbol, a dream, image, again a dream, semblance, appearance. All belong to the same category of experience. Means there is, as if no substance in that, no content in it at all, you see. You see, after all, why all these things? Because it is mind which to us gives a form and image and all that kind of a thing. Mind. Form is produced by mind, name by mind. When that itself is now absent, nothing is there now. The substance has been knocked off. What on which it stands, that is gone away. This was self-seeing in that intolerant hush. Intolerant. It will not allow any thought, anything to exist. Neither the picture, nor the dream, nor the sound, nor the name, nothing it will allow to exist. Intolerant. No notion, no concept could take shape. That is why it is intolerant. There was no sense to frame the figure of thing. A sheer self-sight was there. No thought arose. So its own sight, its own vision. This was self-seeing. This was self-sight. By itself it sees. By itself it figures out things. It is not by any instrumental faculty of cognition, by itself. This was self-seeing, a sheer self-sight. Now the examples of sight and thought. Emotions left deep down in the still heart, or lay buried in a cemetery of peace. All feelings seemed quiescent, calm, or dead. Seemed quiescent, calm, or dead. As if the heartstrings rent could work no more, and joy and grief could never rise again. Obviously, the heart beat on with an unconscious rhythm, but no response came from it and no cry. So it looks like an illusion, the whole thing. You see. Now, I think this is a question of our difficulty. Emotions left, feelings seemed quiescent, heartstrings could no more work, grief, etc., etc., all these things were absent totally. There was no sense, there was no seeing, there was no sight. Then how did the yogi see all these things? He is doing that part. How is he seeing? With what faculty he is seeing? It only means that it didn't have the instruments of nature, because it was self-seeing. He had identified, he had become one with that. It was self-sight. We need eyes to see. But the whole makeup is such that it sees by itself. The heart beat on with an unconscious rhythm, but no response came from it, and no cry. Vain was the provocation of events. Nothing within answered an outside touch. No nerve was stirred, and no reaction rose. So he has become kind of mute, dumb, insensitive to all those things. Nothing is reaching that thing at all. Vain was the provocation of event. So the world war is going on, all those great calamities are happening, but it does not provoke him at all. No nerve was stirred. But then why did she have to participate in the Second World War? Why was he worried about Crisp's mission to succeed? Huh? Why, you see? Yeah, because he was aware that that is not the end by itself. He has a work to do. That awareness is there, that work to do. And therefore, he does not remain unprovoked, so to say, by these events. He takes necessary action when necessary for the purposes of doing his work. Provocation in that sense. He intervened at crucial moments. You see. The only thing which he didn't do was, he didn't intervene at the time of the partition of India. Nothing within answered an outside touch. No nerve was stirred and no reaction rose. Possibly he has done in his own way also for that. Possibly he has done in his own way. See, in his message of 15th August 1947, he speaks of a possible danger of invasion on India. We of course witnessed in 1964 the Chinese invasion of the Himalayas. But that was relatively short. But I think a greater danger is arising. Now the Chinese people are making a big tunnel through Mount Everest and producing a 500-kilometer railway line in the Himalayas, bordering Nepal and India, you see. So that danger is there, you see. Yet still her body saw and moved and spoke. It understood. You see, he says, body, not her mind, not her heart, what is seeing, the physical. It is there now the focus is coming. It is now there the focus is coming. Yet still her body saw and moved and spoke. It understood without the aid of thought. It said whatever needed to be said. It did whatever needed to be done. So it is directly now the response of the body. It does not need the faculty of heart, it does not need the faculty of thought, of brain. Body itself is directly responding. Whatever has to be done will be done by the body. There was no person there behind the act, no mind that chose or passed the fitting word, all wrought like an unerring apt machine. As if continuing old habitual turns, old habitual terms of the body. Those are as if continuing. And pushed by an old, unexhausted force, the engine did the work for which it was made. Her consciousness looked on and took no part. All it applied, in nothing had a share. There was no strong initiator will. She is not going to exercise her will at all. An incoherence crossing a firm void slipped into an order of related chance. Now this is a little complex sentence. There was no strong initiative will. You see, it's the will which can organize things, can remove incoherence. Can control chance. But that is not there now. The body saw and moved and spoke. Body's own consciousness emerges, not the thought and mind. Pure body consciousness in the nirvanic experience. So it is because everything is there gone. Mother says, I sent away my mind, the vital. It's the body which is not going to respond directly. The body has to respond directly. All had to disappear before it could gleam out. It followed its law, its habits, as there was no external influence to influence, no mind, no heart, only body. The body has to make, in other words, here the foundation of the yoga of transformation, physical transformation, is this one. All the other things have to disappear, and it is directly the body which must respond. Therefore, what we have here is pure perception, untouched by the vital, by the mental. Pure perception was the only power that stood behind her action and her sight. So how does she know? Everything has gone away. So it is that pure perception. Self-sight, self-seeing, it is that which comes here. If that retired, all objects would be extinct. So her body is there because of that pure perception, her physical. If that pure perception also disappears, even the body also disappears with that. If that retired, all objects would be extinct. Her private universe would cease to be. The house she had built with bricks of thought and sense. Thought and sense is what we had. In the beginning, after the birth of space. That is how the mental beings are formed, Manomaya Purusha, after the birth of space, by thought and sense. Thought, the mental mind, and thought or mind, manasa, is a primary sense. We have got 5 senses, 5 organs of perception, 5 senses. The primary sense is the manasa, the mind behind mind. And all the other 5 senses are projections of that sense. So, with the manasa, with the mental being, all that was built, that has disappeared. Her private universe would cease to be in the beginning after the birth of space. This seeing was an identical with the seen. So the relationship between the object and the observer, that has disappeared. It is not that the observer is seeing the object, it is not that the object is projecting itself on the cognition of the observer. It's not the object which is throwing on you, or it is not that you are seeing an object. All that has disappeared. You have become one with the object, identity. The house she had built with bricks of thought, the seeing was identical with the seen. It knew without knowledge all that could be known. By direct identification. It saw impartially the world go by, but in the same supreme, unmoving glance, saw too its abysmal unreality. What is this? It sees him. Unreality, of dream, of image, of illusion. She sees all that thing now here. Because she has now only the pure perception. It is because that pure perception she is able to see all that immediately. The seeing was identical with the seen. It was the figure of the cosmic game, but the thought and inner life in form seemed dead, abolished by her own collapse of thought. A hollow physical shell persisted still. So what is she now? Her physical body, it is a shell. There is nothing in it now. Just the outer shell. Well, so don't be afraid of it. Hollow physical shell, what are we? Nothing has gone. It's good. You have to empty out all that. Yeah. This is most important. So what happened is, emotion hastened on the sound track of a dream. Okay, we'll see that. It was the figure of the cosmic game, but the thought and inner life in form seemed dead. Everything is gone now. Abolished by her own collapse of thought, a hollow physical shell. Hollow because everything has gone now. Inner life, thought, everything has gone away. Therefore, it has become hollow. It seemed a brilliant shadow of itself. Obviously, now that shell is now only what? It's only a shadow of something, bright shadow of something. A cosmic film of scenes and images. So a movie picture is there and you're seeing that thing. A cosmic film of scenes and images. The enduring mass and outline of the hills was a design sketched on a silent mind and held to a tremulous false solidity by constant beats of visionary sight. So it is by constantly seeing that thing as if you see it is an object, it's not there. By constant beats of visionary sight. The forest and its emerald multitudes, the green trees, clothed with its show of hues, vague, empty space, a painting's colors hiding a surface void that flickered upon disillusion's edge. The blue heavens, an illusion of the eye. So what is a blue heaven after all? It is just an illusion of the eye. Roofed in the mind's illusion of a world. Blue heaven, which is an illusion of the eye. So blue heaven roofed in the mind's illusion. So the heaven, that blue heaven, is acting like a roof for the illusion of mind. Because it's pure perception. Blue heaven, an illusion of that. So this you can ignore for a minute. So blue heaven roofed in, covered, put a canopy like this, in the mind's illusion of a world. Then, the men who walked beneath an unreal sky seemed mobile puppets out of a cardboard cut and pushed by unseen hands across the soil or moving pictures upon fancy's film. There was no soul within, no power of life. Yeah, it's an empty picture. Emotion hastened on the soundtrack of a dream. The murmur of a drifting hue in felicitous air. A nearness drew closer, yet in the mystic hush. as if emerald or the invisible sea deepened into trueness of the seen and the heard. A hollow physical shell persisted still. Thought life gone, but the physical is still there. It's the response of the physical now. In fact, that is the foundation of the Mother's Yoga. But in the same supreme unmoving glance, all seemed a brilliant shadow of itself. Brilliant shadow. Very beautiful phrase, no? Brilliant shadow. In literary parlance, it is called oxymoron. The two opposites coming together, oxymoron. Brilliant shadow, you see. It is a shadow, yeah. Her body is a brilliant body, but after all, it's a shadow of something else. So you have got a very beautiful example of oxymoron here. Now, the examples of this brilliant shadow are what we have got here. In the cosmic dream or design sketch, health, tremulous. The examples are forest with its emerald multitude, paintings, colors, blue heaven. They are examples of that brilliant shadow, you see. Even the puppet is also, here, Saint, a mobile puppet, is also a part of that brilliant shadow, cut out of cardboard and fine system. Now, there is a little problem here, I don't know. See, you ignore this phrase here for a minute. The blue heavens roofed in the mind's illusion of a world. So what it means basically is blue heavens roofed in the mind's illusion. Is it like that? Or it is blue heavens roofed in the mind's illusion? What do we have in roofed in? Means is covering, is giving a cover, like a roof, is providing a roof. So mind is, so blue heaven is providing a cover to mind's illusion. This is what it means. But blue heavens roofed in the mind's illusion.
The illusion of the world, but which is done by the mind. The mind
What is blue heaven? It's mind's illusion.
It's spark of illusion.
Huh?
It's a spark.
Yeah, it's possible, you see. Yeah.
So tell us.
Yeah. No, this is very tricky situation, you see. Like that, you have at times, as you purposely added, such intricacies of the language. Blue heaven roofed in a mind's illusion. Yeah, it's possible. Because paintings, colors, clothes, etc., are all part of that shadow, you see. It is not, see what business blue heaven has to provide a roof to mind. Why should it bother?
He said blue heaven.
Blue heavens.
Blue heaven also illusion of the eyes.
Huh?
Blue heaven and illusion of the eyes.
Yeah.
So already the.
No, that is the clarification. An illusion of the eye. After all, blue heaven itself is an illusion of the eye. And that is now roofing in mind's illusion.
Means he replaced the illusion of the mind.
Yeah.
But it's still illusion.
I would go, the blue heaven is roofed in the eyes of the mind, in the illusion of the mind. Yeah. Yeah. Blue heaven is the root in the illusion of the mind, in the mind's illusion.
But it's also illusion.
Yeah.
It's written illusion.
So, so you have to correct your French translation. The men who walk beneath an unreal sky, because everything is now illusion, therefore unreal sky, seem mobile puppets out of cardboard cut. So what are we? Cardboard puppets. Tom and Jerry cartoons of Disneyland. And pushed by unseen hand across the soil or moving pictures upon fancy film. There was no soul within, no power of life. Obviously, the brain's vibrations that appear like thought, the nerves' brief answer to each contact's knock, the heart's quiverings felt as joy and grief and love were pitching to the body. So brain, nerve, heart, after all, what is it? They are twitching to the body. The seeming cell, the body forced from the atoms and formed gas, a manufactured lie of Maya's make. Is life a dream seen by the sleeping void? The animals, so again the picture continues. The animals, the examples continue. The animals lone or trooping through the glades. He is giving now the evening, the animals are coming back home. The animals lone or trooping through the glade, fled like a passing vision of beauty and grace, imaged by some all-creating eye. Yet something was there behind the fading scene. So although it is like that illusion, still there is something behind it. Wherever she turned, at whatever she looked, it was pursued, yet hid from mind and sight. Everything is about mind and sight again, see. Sense and thought. He's talking this sense and thought, mind and sight. It was pursued by it. So that pure perception is there all the while. The one only real shut itself from space and stood aloof from the idea of time. So it is that one alone who is there. He kept away space, he kept away time and stood behind alone. Its truth is of that one. Its truth escaped from shape and line and hue. All else grew unsubstantial except this one. Everything is unsubstantial. All else grew unsubstantial. Self-inert, this only, that is one only, everlasting seemed and true. Yet nowhere dwelt, it was outside the hours. It is outside space, it is outside time. This only, again he says, this only. Now this stands, this only, this stands for the one. This only could justify the labor of sight, but sight could not define for it a form. Why? Sight could not define for it a form because mind is not there. It is formless. What that sight will show is only formless. This only could appease the unsatisfied ear. Same thing, sense and thought, But hearing, listen in vain for a missing sound, because mind is not there, the primary sense. This answered not the sense, called not to mind. See? Called not to mind. It met her as an uncut, inaudible voice. It, standing again for this only, for this only, for this only, for the one. It met her the uncaught, inaudible voice that speaks forever from the unknowable. So that voice is coming from the unknowable. So the beauty is, the voice is inaudible. You can't hear it. Yet Savitri can. It met her. You see. Yet Savitri can. Because of that pure perception. So that is the central thing. Pure perception. Pure perception does not need any instrument for all these things you see. It met her like an omnipresent point. What a powerful line. So it, that one, has become a point now, single point. Bindu. The whole vast is simply point. Point has no dimension. Point has no dimension at all. That is the void also in a way. It met her like an omnipresent point. So what is a point? Which has no dimension. What is a line? Line is made of points. Now, how does a dimension come from a dimensionless point? Nobody can answer that. What is a line? It has no width. But when you put number of lines together, you get a page, a space, or flat surface. How that happens? Which has no width. When they are put together, you are putting pencils one after the other and you are getting a pattern. So you get a flat surface. What is a flat surface? Which has no height. When you pile them up, you get a solid body, you see. This has no width at all, but when you put them all together, so that is the omnipresent point of pure dimensions. Now, what is that pure dimension? It is unfixed, it is invisible. The single oneness of its multiplied beat, accentuating his soul eternity. That is how he is defining the pure dimensions. It faced her as some vast knot's immensity. It, again that one, an endless no to all that seems to be not this, not this, not this, not this, not this. Neti, neti, neti. That is the spiritual experience. No, not this, not this, not this. An endless no to all that seems to be, an endless yes to things ever unconceived. Yes, yes, Brahman, 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 everywhere. He. So we have got here neti, neti, neti. Here we have got iti, iti, iti. Yes, yes, yes. That comes, that neti and iti come when you have pure perception. The whole foundation of knowledge here is that pure perception. It is not my mental thing, no, not this, this is not Brahman, this is not Brahman, this is not Brahman. Yes, this is Brahman, you are Brahman, I am Brahman, everybody. See, that is mental, you see, it is not. And endless yes to things ever unconceived. Now, both are important. Endless no and endless yes. Endless no to all that should not be, all that is void, inconscient. For that endless no, all that is superconscient, spiritual, of the spirit, yes, yes, yes. So the entire foundation of the supramental manifestation is quintessenced in these two lines. What is supramental planning? Not this, not this, not. Yes, yes, yes. Brahman should come here, come here, here. By emptying out, then put that thing up. So the condition for the higher manifestation, supramental manifestation is here. An endless no to all that seems to be. It seems to exist, but it has no truth content in it. Therefore, no. Endless, yes, because all that truth content should come here. And all that is unimagined and unthought, an eternal zero or untotaled ought, a spaceless and placeless infinite. Now, these two lines, unthought, ought, these are accidental rhymes. Accidental rhymes. Rhyme.
Why accidental?
You don't have anywhere in Savitri like that.
How
There
do you know? Maybe he put it in purpose.
There are only 2 or 3 examples of accidental rhymes in Savitri. This is one of them.
Yeah, but I'm asking, how do you know it's accidental and
Because-
not in purpose?
No, well, that is of course a point, but you see, I can say that this is with a purpose. Spaceless, placeless. And these are also rhyming. These are also rhyming. Yeah, whether we have a point there, whether it is accidental or purposeful. Yeah. But normally he would avoid. He would avoid. Because it's a blank verse. The whole structure of Savitri is unrhymed blank verse. Unrhymed. See, it becomes monotonous, it becomes dull, it becomes, yeah. So, yeah, so once in a while, okay, it can accept it. But I mean, I would tend to say that it's an accidental rhyme. He didn't mean that. Yeah. See, why it is accidental? Because the construction of these 2 lines you see here. See, for instance, an endless no to all, an endless yes to all. They are kind of balanced line. Whereas these 2 lines are not balanced in that sense. They are not balanced in that sense, you see. And all that is imagined and thought, an eternal zero or untotaled ought. In fact, there are a couple of more lines like that in Savitri. Just 2 or 3 examples are there, where you have got, yet eternity and infinity seem but words. Yes, after all, only imagine. Vainly affixed by mind's incompetence, we put tags. We don't really understand what that means. To a stupendous lone reality, the world is but a spark burst from its light, that one spark burst of its light. That is the theory of Spotter. The primary Big Bang spark burst. This is a Big Bang of its burst. The world is but a spark burst from its light. All moments flash from its timelessness. All objects glimmerings of the bodiless that disappear from mind. When that is seen, when you see that one, then everything disappears from mind. It held as if a shield before its face is showing what you are. A consciousness that saw without seer, a consciousness that saw without seer. The truth where knowledge is not, nor knower, nor known. That is a blank, you see. Means there is no objective creation at all. Consciousness that saw without a seer, the truth where knowledge is not, nor knower, nor known. The truth where knowledge is not, nor knower, nor known. The love enamored of its own delight, love for its own sake, it is a need, beloved, by its own right, in which the lover is not, nor the beloved, bringing their personal passion into the vast. So there is no personal at all. Love for itself, knowledge for itself, beauty for itself, truth for itself. The force omnipotent in quietude, the force omnipotent in quietude, the bliss that none can ever hope to take, the force omnipotent in quietude. You can see this line is different than the other lines in terms of its rhythm and its force. The love enamored of its own delight, in which the lover is not the beloved. It is a kind of a narrative, it's a kind of a description, bringing the personal passion into the vast. It's a sort of a narrative. Whereas the force omnipotent in quietude, it does not need any other background. It stands by itself. That is the mantra. The force omnipotent in quietude. It comes from the left side of infinity, stands in front of a while and disappears to the right side of infinity. That is the mantra. It stands for a while in front of you and disappears on both sides of infinity. It doesn't need any background. It doesn't need the earlier line, later lines. The force omnipotent in quietude. So it's such silence, such quietude that the force is omnipotent, can achieve whatever it wants. You see, the force, it is an am, short, long. Omni, short, long. Potent, short, short. Pyrrhic, inquire, I am. Tude. Inquire, etude. This. So first foot is the force, the second foot is omni, the third foot is potent, fourth foot is inquire, and the fifth foot is etude. It cancels the convincing cheat of self. So the self itself has gone away now. A truth in nothingness was its mighty clue. Its creation. Now we have got most wonderful lines. If all existence could renounce to be, and being take refuge in non-being's arms, and non-being could strike out his ciphered round, some luster of that reality might appear. So the three conditions are there, three sequences are there, three steps. Some, and he says finally what happened? Some luster of that one, of that reality. Maybe we will see a little glimpse of it perhaps. Some, if all existence, whatever is there, is abolished, renounced to be, does not exist there. And being take refuge in non-being's arms. So the non-being is embracing being. Existence has gone, the being is now in the embrace of non-being. And now what do? That non-being who is embracing being is removed, thrown away. So being, non-being, existence, everything has gone away. And non-being could strike out. So when everything has gone away, ciphered round, so that thing has become a round now, zero. Ciphered, zero. So being is embraced by non-being, and that non-being itself now is knocked out, zero. Ciphered, annulled, totally. So everything has disappeared now completely, you see. And when that happens, being, non-being, existence, everything has disappeared, then possibly you could see a bit of that luster. If all existence could renounce to be, and being take refuge in non, so this is a kind of a super logic, you see. Here the picture is a very different kind of a picture. The logical content in this thought, in this sentence, is more powerful. You can see the force omnipotent in quietude Here, the love enamored of his own thought and beloved. You can see the difference in the quality of lines and all that. Here, this is kind of a descriptive narrative. Here, you are having super logic. It is sheer super logic. Being has disappeared in the arms, being is in the arms of non-being, non-existence, and that non-being now is knocked off, and therefore what has happened is deciphered round, and then that reality might appear. Now, I have made a note here. Everything has gone now.
But how do you perceive that reality? How do you?
That reality now does not see existence, being, non-being, nothing.
Okay, but if that reality might appear, how do you
Huh.
recognize
A luster of that reality. He says luster of that reality. That reality is always there. So possibly you might be able to see that luster, if that perception is there. That perception is there. That pure perception. Let me read. Being is an assertion. Being is an assertion. Non-being, standing behind being or around it, is also an assertion. This is being, this is non-being. Both are assertions. So being is an assertion. Non-being standing behind or around it is also an assertion. Now, if the assertion of the non-being is abolished, then the true positive beyond both is reached. True positive beyond both is reached. It is that positive alone which will make all existence, being, non-being, everything transcendently valid and meaningful. It is that positive alone. It is that which will give value to being, non-being, or whatever you want to call it, you see. By this assertive laya or dissolution or true nirvana, this is true nirvana now. This is true nirvana. See. By merging herself in not self, Savitri attained the state of formless liberation. I will read again. Being is an assertion, non-being standing behind it, behind being, or around being, is also an assertion. Now, if the assertion of the non-being is abolished, then the true positive beyond both being and non-being is reached. It is that positive alone which will make all existence, being, non-being, everything transcendently valid or meaningful. It has a value only then, when it is abolished. By this assertion, by this assertive laya, laya means dissolution. Savitri had dissolved. By this assertive laya or dissolution or true nirvana, by merging herself in the not self, Savitri attained the state of formless liberation. A formless liberation came on her. Formless liberation. Her body was floating like a shell without any content in it. Even that form, now that shell, has also not disappeared. That form also is not there. When sepulchred, alive in brain and flesh, sepulchred, buried. So until now it was buried in brain and flesh. She had risen up from body, mind and life. She was buried there till now, sepulchred. He says sepulchred, you see, is not a living person. The true Savitri is not there, buried. Live in brain and flesh. She had risen up from body and mind and life. She was no more a person in a world. She had escaped into infinity. She was a point of pure perception, pure dimensionless point. That also has gone away. She had escaped into infinity. That is the total nirvana of Savitri. What once had been herself had disappeared. There was no frame of thing, no figure of soul. A refuge from the domain of sense. So until now we are taking the support of sense. That has also gone. Evading the necessity of thought, delivered from knowledge and from ignorance, delivered from knowledge and from ignorance. Both. The Isha Upanishad says that it is a greater calamity if you follow only the path of knowledge than if you follow the path of ignorance. Vidya, avidya. If you follow exclusively the path of vidya, then it's a kind of a greater calamity. Once you follow only the path of knowledge, you will not be able to come back at all. You will disappear. Once you have disappeared into the infinite, into nirvana or whatever it is, you are lost to the world. So in that sense, it is a greater calamity for you. You follow exclusively the path of knowledge alone. So it says, both are required, vidya and avidya, knowledge and ignorance. By knowledge, you go up. By ignorance, you try to bring back here. If you follow exclusively that, then what happens? Knowledge, everything here, ignorance, everything remains here as it was. And rescued from the true and untrue. So you have got knowledge and ignorance, true and untrue, superconscious, share the superconscious high retreat beyond the self-born world. Again, self-born world. The nude idea, beyond the self-born, beyond the self-born world. So you have got beyond, short, long, yeah. The self, spirit, short, born world, spondy, long. The nude, I am, idea, the stress is on E, idea. It is called amphibrach, short, long, short, amphibrach. Beyond, so that is I am, the self, that is spirit, born word, that is spondy, then nude is I am, and idea, amphibrach. So it's a very complex metrical scheme, you see. You have two amps and all kind of meters are there, feet are there, you see. Beyond the self-born word, the nude idea. You see, both of them are word, idea, they are all capital. The first bare solid ground of consciousness. Beings were not there. Existence had no place. There was no temptation or the joy to be, that I should exist. Even that is not there. It's not there at all. That is a pure perception. That is a true nirvana. That temptation is not there at all. There was no temptation or the joy to be, unutterably effaced. No one and null, unutterably. You cannot speak of that, what kind of effacement is there, unutterably. It is also utterly effaced. You can also say, read this thing also, utterly effaced, no one and null. You could read also like that. But that will not give the meter properly. A vanishing vestige like a violet trace. What is remaining now is a single trace. A faint record merely of self, now past. She was a point in the unknowable. So in the whole emptiness, one single point is there now. Now that point is important. Whether that point should get lost, dissolved in that unknowable, I should exist. That is important, Whether that point should get lost. She has no temptation for the joy to be. So the point can easily disappear also.
Why should
See.
you come back?
Huh?
Why should you come back?
She, well, that option is not there now.
Exactly. Why
Huh.
should you
But
come back?
it means that she has decided to go away. See, but still that is the point. There was no temptation of the joy. She could dissolve. Unutterably effaced. So she has completely dissolved herself, given up away. No one and null, a vanishing vestige like a wired tree. A faint record merely of a self now past. She was a point in the unknowable. She is still there as a point. It has not gone away. Only, therefore, because she is still there, therefore, only some last annulment now remained. Whether that point should disappear or not, that is to be decided.
What is the answer? He will disappear or not?
No, we'll see that. Only. You are reading about Savitri. You have read about Savitri.
A memory of being was still there. So she remembered.
No, but if she totally disappears, then the game is up.
Yeah, then the game is over.
Yeah, that's all right. But well, that is the scheme of things. So what?
We know Savitri. She did,
Yeah, but that we see now shortly.
The question is for the other spirit after.
Oh, but you see what it means that even that pure point which is there, what is its value? What is it going to do? What is it going to do? What for? See, that thing is still not defined. Only some last annulment now remained. So there is little hope that Savitri might come back. Annihilation's vague, indefinable step. So that last annulment is the indefinable step of annihilation, of disappearing, of merging, of laya. See, there are people who would like to dissolve and go away. Ravana did that. He merged himself totally, not to come back again into creation. Therefore, he made God himself as his enemy. That is the quickest way of disappearing from this entire creation. He opted for that, that is his choice. Annihilation's vague. Therefore, the Isha Upanishad says, if you follow only the path of knowledge and disappear there, you cannot come back. It is a greater danger. A memory of being still was there. So that is the beauty. Only some last annulment. What is that last annulment remaining? Savitri is carrying a memory of being. In that point, there is a little, oh, I am Savitri.
But you said before everything.
Yeah, but she said only last annulment is remaining. So the question is of last annulment. So that in the last annulment, that memory, yes, I am Savitri. That is still there somewhere in her perception, and kept her separate from nothingness. So that annulment now is the crucial thing. She was in that, but still became not that. That is the crucial thing. That is the greatness of Savitri. That is the sheer act of Savitri's grace for us. Her sheer act of grace for this creation. Because that memory is there, yes, I am Savitri. It's not that memory. Memory is there, oh, these people, they are waiting for me. These hungry, striving, struggling, dying people, they are waiting for me. That memory is still there.
This is particular to Savitri. But can we say that one day every soul will
Every
come to this level?
soul has a choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my question question for the other soul, not Savitri.
Okay.
I'm Sriya. So it means every soul it will come to this level when he becomes that.
Yes.
It means he is no more a poem,
No.
but he is diluted into
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
This is a question I had since long
Yeah.
time. If
So
we as being, we still indefinitely and a soul,
yeah.
or we become diluted into that.
Yeah. See, you are putting a drop of water in the ocean. Whether that drop should remain or disappear into the ocean.
Okay, I get my answer. It stay, but mix it
Yes.
with others.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that memory is there, and therefore it's an act of grace for us. She is not opting to go away. She can become that.
She has to come back to us.
Well, that is why the memory, that is, that is why the memory is there present in her. Yes, I am Savitri, I have something to do. I come here for some purpose. I cannot become that, cannot dissolve myself into that. Therefore, what happens? This shadow of herself, so close to naught, could be again self point d'appui to live, return out of the inconceivable, return out of the inconceivable, and be what some mysterious vast might choose. What is chosen for me, it is that I will become because of this point of my coming back. So, what is the point of appui? The fulcrum. You are this or that. You either go into that or come back. The fulcrum, point of appui. Could be again self point of appui, to live. So, either she can live or she can disappear. Return out of the inconceivable. So that choice is that fulcrum is still present. That memory is acting as a fulcrum now for her. And be what? Some mysterious. For what purpose she would like to come back? That might be chosen for her. In other words, Savitri obviously has no will of her own, but whatever is chosen for her, it is that she is going to do. Be God's nothing, that God be all in you. It is He who is going to do. Annul thyself that only God may be. He might choose. So that is the condition. So she has reached a point of fulcrum now, a situation whether she can either disappear or come back and do what is chosen for her. What is chosen? She is not going to exercise her own will. Whatever Sakha tu will, Seigneur, Sakha tu will, whatever you wish to do, what thou willest, Lord. That was the constant mantra of the mother. Whether I should go away or come back, you decide, not me. Not me. And the entire success lies in that she has become now such a nothing that whatever is willed for her will be done. Sakha tu Sivanu. That is mother's yoga. In fact, people ask, and we are of course like that, we ask foolishly, has mother succeeded in her yoga or transformation? What is this? She has left away the body. Has she succeeded? Is it a failure? So all kind of questions are asked like that. Yes, so what is your opinion? Has she succeeded or
She didn't failure. She didn't failure of sure.
huh?
She didn't failure of sure.
She has not failed?
No.
No.
But she succeeded some level of sure.
Yes?
Partially succeeded.
Huh?
Partially. To short
Partially.
Partially she succeeded.
No, partially nothing. No, no. Her greatest success is finally she has left everything to the will of the Lord. What else you want? Everything to the will of the Lord. She had given entirely herself to Him and do whatever you want. Can there be any greater success than that? That is the success. What thou willest, Lord, what thou willest, that was her constant mantra to the end. I have no will of mine, your will alone. You want me to do this? Whatever you want. Might choose, vast might choose, that mysterious what might choose. That is the entire success of mother. She is not doing the physical transformation. It is somebody else who is doing through her. It is his choice, his will, his decision, not mother's. So if you want to say the work of physical transformation has failed or partially succeeded, then the credit or discredit goes to the great Lord, not to the mother. Not to the mother, you see. And be what some mysterious vase might choose, even as an unknowable decree, she might be not or newborn become or new become the all. Might choose. What are the alternatives? She might become not or become new all. Or if the omnipotent Nile took a shape, emerged as someone and redeemed the world. So now the elaboration is on this might choose. What? Emerged as someone and redeemed the world.
So what does it mean, this immersion in someone?
Redeem the world. Yeah. Emerge as someone. Well, that is different. At the moment, he did not define that thing. Because everything is now to be chosen by that mysterious will that was. You see. Emerge as someone and redeem the world. Now, this is the memory she was carrying when that point was there. The point of Apvi is that. Emerge as someone and redeem the world. Even she might learn what the mystic cipher held. The seeming exit or closed end of all could be a blind, tenebrous passage screened from sight. Her state, the eclipsing shell of a darkened sun on its secret way to the ineffable. I think there are only few sentences. We'll try to finish. Is it all right? We continue for some more time. Even she might learn what the mystic cipher held. So that zero, that nihil or whatever it is there, what is it holding? See, it is a very rich zero with all the possibilities present in it. With all the possibilities present in it. Very rich zero, you see. A pregnant zero also. Mystic cipher held, this seeming exit or close end of all could be a blind, tenebrous passage screened from sight. Her state, the eclipsing shell of a darkened sun. So that her state itself is like that, without on its secret way to the ineffable, on its secret way to the ineffable. Even now, her splendid being might flame back out of the silence and the nullity. So she might come back out of that silence and nullity. A gleaming portion. How will she come back? A gleaming portion of the all wonderful. If she flames back, she will come as a gleaming portion of the all wonderful. A power of all affirming. So that is the positive beyond being and non-being. A power of all affirming absolute. A shining mirror of the eternal truth. Here is that truth. See my face and work on that. A shining mirror of the eternal truth, to show the one in all. Yes, I am there everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Show this mirror. Its manifest face to the souls of men, their deep identity. So this is what will happen. She might come back, flame back, or she might wake into God's quietude, in God's silence. Beyond the cosmic day and cosmic night, and rest appears in white eternity. She might remain there in the transcendent or wherever it is. So these are the options now for her. And rest appears in white eternity. But this was now unreal or remote. But this was now. The possibility of in white eternity was unreal or remote, or covered in a mystic, fathomless blank. In infinite nothingness or the ultimate sign. So she has reached that nirvana, that absolute, that zero, and in that zero is the ultimate sign. What is the sign? The real. If that is not there, then the real becomes the unknowable. A lonely absolute negated all. It effaced the ignorant world from its solitude and drowned the soul in its everlasting peace. So what really happens at this point is not disclosed. That will be disclosed in the next canto. You see, in infinite nothingness or the ultimate sign. So she has reached that absolute, that void. Yes, in that there is sign. But that memory is there in the soul of Savitri, and it is working. So we have got here point d'appui, the support or the prop. Now in the military parlance, this is a phrase, point d'appui, in the military language. It is a base camp or a rallying point. In the night, the camp will be there. A base or rallying point for a military unit when troops are assembled prior to a battle, abandoning habitual pressure point. So before the battle begins, the troops are assembled. That is the point d'appui. So Savitri's point d'appui is that memory, that thing. With that point of contact where everybody has gathered now, that memory, she would return and do what the unknowable would decree her to do. What are the things possible for her with that decree? She might be nothing. She might new become the all. That is the second possibility. The third possibility, she might emerge as someone and redeem the world. So all these choices are there. She might be not, she might be nothing, she might become all, she might redeem the world. She might learn what the mystic zero held, that pregnant zero, that rich zero has given. Though through the dark and sun secret way to the heaven, her splendid being might flame back. It might come back. How? As a gleaming portion of the all wonderful. It will come back as a gleaming portion of the all wonderful. A power of the all affirming absolute. A mirror of the eternal truth. She will come back as a mirror of the eternal truth. To show to the souls of men the one in all. Or she might wake into God's quietude and remain in white eternity. She will remain in the transcendent.
Then what will happen to the creation?
But this possibility was unreal, remote, uncovered, blank. Yes?
She remains in the
She is not willing at all. It is he who is going to decide what she has to be. In the midst of all these possibilities, all these options which are there, see, he has given no choice. What that mysterious might choose So all these are the different options for her, in front of her. They are listed here. But what is really going to happen will come in the next canto.
Suspense.
So in infinite nothingness, so in that zero now of this thing, what is going to happen? This is the only sign. If it is not there, that sign in the nothingness, if the nothingness, that sign is not there of any of these things happening, then that is an illusion. That itself is an illusion. Greatest illusion will be that then, if it does not possess that sign. If it is not there, that sign, then the real must be the unknowable or illusion. A lonely absolute negated all, this is what we've seen. It effaced the ignorant world and drowned the soul in its peace. That is the nirvana of Savitri. Now, what is going to happen? We'll have to wait after the vacation. We'll take it up after the vacation.